In May 2016, I started investing $100 every month into the S&P 500, thinking I'd see some modest gains over the decade. What actually happened delivered returns of over 300%, something no financial advisor prepared me for. 10 years later, that simple experiment taught me more about money psychology than any textbook ever could, and revealed why most people never see these kinds of results despite having the same opportunity.
But 3 years in, my modest expectations had been crushed. The S&P 500 declined in 2018, and I watched nearly 2 years of my contributions evaporate in what felt like weeks. My account balance swung wildly, one month climbing, the next plummeting. The financial media was calling it the worst year since the global financial crisis, and I started questioning whether this whole experiment was just elaborate financial self-harm. Every $100 I'd faithfully deposited suddenly felt foolish, like I was feeding money into a machine designed to destroy it. I remember this specific moment, checking my balance on a bad market day and seeing red numbers where I'd expected green. That's when the doubt set in hardest. Then came 2020. The S&P 500 plummeted 34% from its February peak to March 23rd. Watching my account balance drop by a third in just over a month was like watching years of discipline get erased in real time. Every financial news headline screamed about economic collapse, and I found myself questioning whether continuing to invest was financial suicide or financial discipline. But I kept depositing that $100 monthly, even as it felt like throwing money into a burning building. 2 years later came 2022's bear market, a 25% decline that lasted most of the year. And the psychological torture repeated itself. This time, it wasn't a dramatic crash, but a slow, grinding decline that tested every assumption I had about buying the dip. After watching those 2018 losses evaporate 2 years of contributions and then enduring the grinding 25% decline of 2022, did you ever consider pulling out of the market entirely? Comment your answer below. Now, here's where the story gets really interesting. By 2023, something shifted. The S&P 500 posted a 26.3% return in 2023 and followed it up with a 25% return in 2024. Watching my account balance climb month after month felt surreal after years of volatility. This wasn't the modest 7% annual growth I'd expected when I started. My monthly $100 contributions were suddenly buying shares at prices that made my earlier purchases look brilliant in hindsight. This exceptional 2-year performance delivered cumulative returns exceeding 58%, and I found myself checking my balance with a mix of excitement and disbelief. The compound effect was finally visible, not just in spreadsheet projections, but in real dollars that represented years of discipline paying off. For the first time in the experiment, I understood viscerally why people talk about letting time do the heavy lifting in investing. But here's what I wasn't prepared for. Money problems are rarely math problems. They are behavior problems. That decade of automated investing didn't just build wealth. It rewired my relationship with delayed gratification entirely. I found myself applying the same pay myself first mentality to other areas, automatically transferring money for vacation funds, emergency savings, even holiday gifts. Small habits outperform big plans, and this one habit had become the foundation for every other financial decision I made. The psychological shift was profound. I stopped seeing investing as something I had to remember to do, and started seeing it as something that happened whether I thought about it or not. Disciplined investing reduces the mental load of decision-making. And suddenly I had mental bandwidth to focus on earning more rather than constantly debating whether to invest or spend. By May 2026, my total invested amount had reached $12,000 over the decade, $100 monthly for exactly 120 months. My account balance showed $38,400. That's a 220% gain on my principal, representing an annualized return of approximately 12.3%. The S&P 500 posted a fourth straight year of gains, up almost 8% year to date. The psychological impact of seeing that number was profound. It wasn't just money. It was proof that patience compounds in ways your brain can't predict during the dark months. In your 30s and 40s, $12,000 feels manageable to invest gradually, but $38,000 feels like real wealth. And that gap between what you can afford to lose and what you can't afford to miss becomes the foundation of every major financial decision you'll make for the rest of your life. My biggest lesson learned is that you can't consistently predict when the market will go up or down. Waiting for the right opportunity puts you out of the investing game. You need to see investment as a long-term strategy, not a quick windfall. Remove emotions and invest more when markets are fearful, and you will see the fruits of your labor in the future. Don't go all in when markets are at all-time highs. Subscribe for more real investment experiments and advice. Our next video discusses the dangers of lifestyle inflation and how to avoid it.